I'm gonna do my best to try to stick with pretty much belief, religion, and magic and science kind of aspects. Um, because like, I just had this weird thought process about I was watching this sort of about ghosts and my whole aspects on the whole ghost things. I do agree that they exist, but like when it comes to the planet, I think and the other side, the astral realm, where I believe heaven and hell and is located, along with the damn lands and the astral plane and the very soul essence of our planet. And throughout our planet, there's ripples and cracks and veins of energy, magnetic pole, um, and essence of the very atoms and molecules that create everything, that create on this planet and everything. I mean, we share vibrations with the planet, I do believe. Um, but yeah, these are the veins and the nerve sections of this planet. And I believe throughout this planet we walk like the astral plane and the damn lands, not heaven or hell, but the land, the damn lands, the land where I think people are sent, and you go through your tribulations and your walk of judgment to heaven or hell. Um, and some people get lost there, and that's what I believe gets turned into, phantoms, race, hauntings, and stuff like that. But there's the very vibrations and cracks. Those are focal points where I think a lot of people are able to hear them, see them, feel them, or you have the rare, people that can do all of it. They can see them, they can hear them, so they can speak, and they can feel them when they're around. Um, so they're pretty much like they're there, but there's no physical form to take place. Now that doesn't mean they can't hurt. I believe that they can fully hurt. Um, but yeah, that's where I believe the whole spiritual thing. My whole belief, honestly, I mean, I do believe there is or was or still is or has been a God. Um, I believe, but my version of God is more of a one entity of two unions of father and mother, of life and death, creation, destruction. I do think they are the focal points of everything. They are the ones that created everything. Um, and I think they're the embodiment of all existence. So, I mean, there might be, I mean, I don't think we fully know the full picture of, mother and father. I believe all religions on our planet, maybe not all, but a good chunk of them. I don't know which ones exactly. I have an idea of which ones, but I do think that a lot of religions and other historical books, and everything that's full of knowledge and wisdom, hold stepping stones to truth. The real religion is truth, all knowing truth. Um, and I think it's up to you to walk your path through life to death in search of that truth. And in search of, I mean, there's the trillion of knowing why you're here, and what is the meaning of being here, and then figuring out your personal path and destiny, and living a balanced life, finding balance. Um, I mean, because if you actually break it down to, I mean, good and evil, right and wrong, they are kind of more of an aspects on the bigger goal thing, the bigger picture, the bigger group. Um, and that's typically how, if you look at society, that's typically how it goes. The bigger group typically decides what goes on. Or the more scary man is able to intimidate the weaker man to apply pressure on the weaker people to enslave them and build a society. And over time, things just become how they are. Um, we everybody's done it from the dawn of time and on our planet. But that's not really a you know a lie. The more powerful, more superior, more fearsome, that has the best resources, that have the strongest men, that jump first, they are the ones that get to write history. Um, because they're willing to do what they need to do to be at that top. To and they want to. I mean, that is a big factor. They want to be there. Um, so we've been doing that forever, but that's also just our planet. Um, and then I mean, and that's a bigger question. Yeah. I mean, the whole are we the center of the universe kind of aspects. Because who knows what this universe looked like before? I mean, our history, our own personal history, isn't even known. I mean, you got religion saying that we've been around for 6 to 10,000 years. Um, you have history books and evolution that states we've been around for 100,000 to 300,000, maybe more. So we don't really have a focal point on how long we've been here. We have an idea, we have a theory, we have a feeling, um, but we don't know. I mean, because every time we find out new information that says we've been here longer, or not even things about the human race, but technology and devices that are old, that's and material that were used during that time period that should not have been. Um, Definitely asking questions about the pyramid, who made it and shit. Um, the technology about going to space, which I mean, God, I can't remember. I think it was the '60s. I think we were studying the stars before that, but it wasn't until the '60s when we first went to the moon. I mean, the technology. It's just like to me. It's just like I don't think we were. If you actually do research about when we started doing research from space and the stars and the planets, and then going to when we created NASA, and then when NASA actually took us to the moon, and how many times we've been to the moon in that time, and how our technology. I mean, it even goes back to cars. I mean, cars came out of nowhere and whatnot, and then within a certain amount of time, I mean, look where they've come. I mean, and technology about cars, it just boom, here it is, and then it just grew. And it came out of nowhere. I mean, it was right after. Once I think America was founded, I mean, history and the world changed. Um, obviously the Pilgrims, they did a lot of fucked up shit. I'm not even denying that they did a lot of fucked up shit. But that goes back to what I was saying before. The strong take over. The strong enslave. I mean, the weaker, and that also stopped in a matter of speaking, or change. I guess not really stop, it changed. Because slave trafficking, slavery still goes on. It hasn't really ended, and I don't think it will. I don't think evil will ever end. I think it's black and white, and the balance scale is gray. So you got this gray scale that's measuring the black and white in life and death and all that. And yeah, I don't know how long I'll have on this, but yeah. Um, but yeah, I do believe they're probably. I mean, they're in. I do think the mythical and beings of our history, of demigods to demonic creatures, I do think there's some truth in this aspect. Um, that there were other forms of life, in a matter of speaking, that then came to this planet and lived on this planet and were out there as well. I do believe in aliens, or otherwise. But it goes along with God. I don't know if they're still here, or if they're all wiped out, and maybe we're the last. I don't think we were the only ones and ever been. I also don't think. If you're talking about alien life forms, who knows when? All the talk we have about the planets out there that used to hold life at one time. So it's been who knows when the galactic war destroyed everything. But if there aren't aliens out there that can travel through space, because we keep on talking about how difficult it is, if we can meet these alien race that have the technology to travel through space, Obviously, their technology is already basis more advanced than ours. Why would a very intelligent, advanced race come here? I mean, I don't really think we had many benefits to them. We're not good slaves. There was that one guy that does videos that he said the exact same thing in a comedy version, but we don't make great slaves. We're not good slaves, and not for them especially. Um, we're not really advanced unless the government's been lying to us, which I do think we are a lot more advanced than we think. Um, I think we are a few centuries ahead of time. So if the year is 2024, I think we are actually in technology wise the real technology that the government, the true government holds. I think they're using technology that's like, yeah, 300 years advanced. So it's like 23, 24 to the government, and they're using a lot more, advanced technology than, all the stuff that they tell us about. That's, I mean, at least half of it's old news. They have been, I believe. Um, but yeah, why would an alien race with the, I mean, even with the technology that we can think of, I mean, nanobites is one of my biggest fear. I mean, when it comes to cyborg robots, AI, I think nanobites, in my opinion, takes the cake. Um, if even half of the stuff I've seen in videos between movies and real research, if even half if the shit that I've seen in that is true, nanobites scare the shit out of me. All right, fuck that. Um, yeah, so I'm more worried about that. And if you actually get AI technology into the nanobites that can build a robot, an android, no, no. Um, but yeah, I mean, why would the alien race come here? The resources are. To put it on a scale, if you take the resources that we have, if you change the oxygen and carbon dioxide and this and all that on our planet, the materials we have could be a lot different, stronger, durable, be used for different things. Um, I also think we're not using the materials on this planet the right way. And I don't think we should be having to, like, we should not be going buck crazy over oil and shit and just so stuck. I mean, obviously, we need to figure out how to. I mean, and I think we have a different power supply than what we're using. I think the real government has a different power supply. Um, yeah. Um, but when it comes to the whole God thing, I do believe. I mean, the demigods. I think all that stuff. They're It's a mixture of other life forms on this planet that lived here with us at one time. I think, and then it goes from other life forms that were out in space, the Black Sea of time and space, um, that lived out there and came to, I think back in the day, probably socialized with us, because I do think that the human race back in the day were a lot more advanced than we are now. Um, Even our government, I think the people of the past were a lot more advanced. And then I truly do believe that a storm or some kind of aggressive storm covered our planet, um, and just wiped everything clean. And it left a few fragments of our past for us to build and alter and do guesswork on to form a society, or at least a beginning stage of our aftermath to lead us into where we are now in a matter of speaking. Um, there's a lot with religion. I mean, there's a lot in religion. I do believe. Um, I mean, a lot of religions. I believe in a lot of them. I don't really have one religion that I follow. I mean, there's definitely certain religions I hold more similarities with, and mutual beliefs that I share with them. But I can't really say I'm one religion or the other. Um, but I definitely believe that our history is a lot more complex but also simple than we believe. Um, I mean, I definitely believe in all the. I believe that. I mean, the true government that I believe is the whole GOG. I mean, I've mentioned in my other videos the whole GOG thing, and I believe that all of our governments around the world are fake. They're shell companies. They are not the real government. They are not who really calls the shots. And I don't really believe in most of the history that we've been told. I think it's bullshit. I mean, I think there's a sprinkle of truth here and there, but I think 90 to 99% of it is bullshit. I don't, the whole Rothschilds and Rockefellers and uh, Mennonites, not Mennonites, but those are Amish, um, but Templars, Illuminati. Um, I think all that's fake history. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen because it's like the Truman Show. That's where the Truman Show comes in, where I think that and the Matrix, the aspects of this world that we live in, America, and all that. That's fake. This is all a giant stage, but it's the world we come to know as truth, but it's not truth. Not even half truth. Um, we've been le- we've been left here to live in a modern age, 2024 stage, where time and day goes by. We go to work. We live like that whole life. Um, and then I mean, our world's becoming like idiocracy. This fucking bumbling retards controlling everything. I mean, like, while we're going through fucking battles between, the physical and mental and spiritual and emotional battles between the human race. Um, and we're starving, but the difference is we're not starving for food, really. I mean, not in America. I mean, I know I'm not saying that starvation doesn't happen, but it's more on the aspects of a spiritual starving. We're starving and craving purpose and reasoning and understanding and love. Definitely love in the wrong places, and we're losing our humanity. Um, to socialize and live together. I mean, people are turning on people for stupid reasons. People are getting lost. I'm not saying the problems that you're going through in life are not hard, but when you actually truly step away from your personal issues and look at the bigger picture of the problems that are going on in the world, you can honestly see why. I mean, I do believe that your destiny is somewhat fixed. Um, it's not completely written for you, but I do see many people playing a factor in how your life goes. Um, you're still going to make decisions, but it's not really a decision when you only have a certain amount of decisions, and those have been picked for you. Um, but I do think, I mean, one of the things I think GOG, the true government, is working on, um, being able to take that away, being able to write in the book, you know, of names, I believe that's what it's called, to be able to change your destiny, be able to write and manipulate it. I mean, because to my aspects, I mean, whether it's Christianity, God, or Allah, or even my mother and father aspects of God, they can change whatever they want. He can change, Allah, God. They can change your path, however he wants, if he chooses to. But free will, I think, is an aspect that he allows. I think all gods allow to make up your own decision, to understand the world, to understand yourself, and what kind of person you want to be. I mean, because you can honestly be whatever you want. I mean, that's the law of anarchy. I can do whatever I want, so can you. I choose to not do this, I choose not to do that. And unfortunately, throughout life, you're going to find people that are willing to do those and are going to probably take advantage of people that are not willing to fight. And those are the things that you have to make peace with. Um, and be able to just brush it off or do something about it. And then whether that be this or whether that be that, that's your call. But I mean, I do think I do think you have to understand. I do think there is laws and rules between everything. Going, I mean, I don't really think. I think how to word this because don't like kind of really believe in right and wrong, but I kind of do. I know it's kind of a contradiction. Um, but it's and the more aspects is when I go is like you want to kill, um, and but I think but you're gonna have to make do with that because I do think taking the life you might anger want someone out there between mom or father or one of their children or one of the many life out there that have been spawned and born and created and grown throughout the universe by their children. um, yeah, I mean, because I think the father and mother is the always been and never have been. They were the beginning of everything. Um, and there was some aspects I used to believe that maybe fathers, split and mothers split into two and came to create the essence of sister and brother. It's the yin and yang. Mother is the bigger part of white, and then sister is the small part of darkness in mother. And then you have the same aspects of father being the bigger part of darkness, and brother being the small part of light, I believe, or was it vice versa? I'm kind of all over the place, I know, but all is just kind of just being shot at me. Um, but that's kind. I mean, that was one of my aspects, but I haven't really. I mean, I don't. I'm trying to put God more in the focal point of because I do believe he knows everything, and I do believe he can do whatever he wants. Why he doesn't is more, I think, man's brain is not capable to understand and grasp. You know he could, but understanding why he allows certain things, why he doesn't do about certain things, that's where you kind of like go like, well, kind of like the whole like, why would God give a kid cancer? I don't understand it. I don't agree with it because I think it's pretty messed up. But I don't. I'm hoping he has a reason and he doesn't just want to play sick games with kids. Um, but that's my aspects of I think religion and science and history. Um, yeah, I'm kind of drawing a blank, but I want to keep talking and try to get more out. But I don't even know if many people watch my whole videos or not. I know people love, insulting me, which, whatever. Um, I recommend going to watch Andrew Wilson, his channel Crucible, because he's giving me a different outlook on religion and Christianity, definitely. I think he's also helped me. I think I'm more of a decent, debater, and I love his quote, the whole attack my argument, not me. Same thing I love to throw at people. I mean, don't attack me. Attack what I say. Alright? Attacking me doesn't prove anything. I know I'm lost in teeth. I made bad decisions. Like I'm going bald. I'm all 38. You know? I mean, I've already beat myself up for the choice I make, and I'm doing my best to work on that. And all I'm doing is expressing my opinion and how I think. You want to have a problem with it, you want to make it let you hurt your feelings. You know, you want to come at me sideways, okay? And like nobody on the internet says anything that I haven't heard before, and to people that actually have the balls to say it to my face. So I mean, like I don't really care about some troll, whatnot, or some dingbat on the internet that wants to insult me. Um, okay, but that's a little bit off topic. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts and beliefs. I mean, when it comes to Christianity, definitely, because that's one of my focal points that I believe, because I do believe that America was founded on Christianity. Um, I want to build an America, United States that could welcome all religions, that at least have the same north. I mean, because I don't really think. I mean, if Christians and pagans and this and all that, they all believe in the matter of same thing, or and they get led to the same place. Does it really matter who told you to get there? I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't matter what you did to get there, that your journey doesn't matter, but there has to be somewhat of a reason. I mean, I think the more extreme thing is that if a Satanist fucking ends up at Promised Land with the fucking Christians, what the hell's up with that? Why did you guys end up at the same place? You know, and I think it's the journey that gets you there builds the character that you're gonna behave like when you get there. So obviously, pay attention to that. Um, but I mean, I definitely. I mean, obviously, I don't want. I don't really know if I want Satanist or Satanic a part of the circle. But I do think the Abraham religions, in a matter of speaking, I think that's what Christian, Jewish, and Catholic, they definitely have to get their book under control, because, I mean, they are pretty much the same religions, just coming at a different angle. Um, so I don't really know. I mean, they got the whole like gang war on fucking Christ and shit. And then you got Jehovah's Witness and Mormon. And I think Scientology. They've got this weird, twisted alien cult that kind of makes you think of fucking the Abraham religions. And then you got, I think, Muslim. Um, I think Hindu, which, I mean, I think would be pagan. I think they're almost the same with the age, with the Japanese and Chinese. But I do think there is some, at least with the religions that I just mentioned, those are some of the ones I like to research. And Greek, Roman, but Roman is pretty much like Greek and Christian kind of aspects, and I think, if I remember correctly. Then you got Wiccan and Pagan, and I think those are, in my personal belief, decent religions, from what I know and I believe of those religions. I can't speak to all, but I do know from my aspects, those are some of the religions I think I take most of my stuff from, with a little bit of satanic and Satanism, but I also have a different outlook on that as well. So if you hear Satanist and Satan, it's just the best word that I've come to. I mean, what I know and understand and research about satanic and Satanism, and what I've come to research and read and come to think about. Like, that's one of the things that's the problem with the world, is that people read stuff, from a book or online, or listen to videos out there, and then they just take what they heard. All right, sorry, um, and they believe that to be truth. Well, I like to actually read books, watch videos, read articles, and think about what I just got done reading, and come up with my own thought off of what I read. Um, and that's how I go on most of it. Um, but I do wish we can actually find a utopia, in matter speaking. Um, I do think, oh god, I should do it off camera probably, but fuck it. I mean, one world government. I mean, I do think it can be bad. Um, but if it's done under the right house and under the right head, I do think the one world government is a possibility of a good thing where we unite all of the governments, where the government becomes a one house. Like the United States is the whole planet. Like I'm not saying like you can probably keep the history there as Germany this and all that, but all government maybe we should probably focal point on a place and or how we like. I think that would be the problem is trying to get everybody together because where would you build the main focal point of the new world government? Of everybody coming together. And where we bring in all of our resources and we actually break the whole money thing to where our whole world goes off of one currency, one. And it doesn't even have to be the United States for this. We can all just create a new currency. That's the beautiful thing. We created money. I don't ever understood why money just it kicks our ass. Like, we created money. We created the whole value tree on how we value money, what we use to give money collateral. We killed trees. We print money. We created the whole printing process. Like we created everything. We created something out of nothing. Um, and somehow money is just we are a slave to money at every aspect. But I mean, unless we plan on going back, I mean, the barter system. I mean, I don't have a problem bringing it back. But I mean, the money thing is not a completely bad thing. But yeah, have one currency. The whole planet it goes off of one currency. Everybody goes off of one currency. Um, I don't. I mean, to my knowledge, I don't even understand why everybody calls it yen and this, and why $10 in America is like 1,000 yen in China and all that. Um, so I don't know. If, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody uses math like the same. So I don't. I mean, so I mean, everybody should just go like $10 is $10. I mean, I'm sorry if your whole pounds, but $10 is $10. Or we can just, you can have your own slang, but I mean, and people should also be educated about the world, other countries and all that, how they, think. I think we should all be I think the whole world should be like a melting pot of culture, bring everything together. Um, Obviously not the LGBT, that whole culture, whatever the fucking community can, like, go somewhere else. Alright, you are, whether you're going by religion or evolution, I'm sorry, but that whole gay community, the whole entire gay community, not just trans, all of them, you are an anomaly and a mutation within evolution biology. All right, you are something that just happens. It's not, and it's not. You have there's no benefit to it. All right, and I think that's a focal point. There's no benefit to be gay. All right, you want to be gay? Whatever. Go be gay. All right. Um, but I don't think you should be able to adopt, and I don't think you should be married because I think those are things that have to do with God and a man and woman. All right, and that's what I believe. I think only men and women should be getting married, and only under the eyes of God it matters. I think government should stay the fuck out of marriage, um, and I think honestly, I mean, government probably should stay out of everything that has to do with family, in a matter of speaking, unless it's wanting to help. All right, or if we can actually bring church and religion, and God or whatever, into the government. I mean, I definitely do think church should have a say in the government matters, but I don't think government should have a say in religious matters. Um, but it's strictly religious matters. When it comes to politics, um, wars, all that thing, I do think religion is allowed to be heard, but the focal point will be the people that make decisions are going to be the ones that are on the council. Religious people are not, you know, not permitted to be on the council, but it's gonna be it's gotta be people that are able to check their ego and check their beliefs. You have to check your ego and beliefs. I don't want ego hotheads, and I don't want religious Bible thumpers that want to act high and mighty. I want people that can contemplate within reasoning and rationality and logic and what the best outcome from a moral aspects and for the greater good. You know, and I mean, when it comes to the whole world, I mean, if we're combining the whole world, make it one, currency, we'll have it one army. Um, Everybody's allowed to travel everywhere. When it comes to, I mean, we take treason very strict. Treason, I think, people that are willing to play conniving games in the government, if found out, that is an automatically death sentence. Because you're trying to play, cause chaos and unbalance and how do you really word it? People are, I mean, that's traitors. I can't trust you. And you're trying to like take political power and to start pushing shit in your own way and how you want it to be. I mean, I don't think. I mean, when it comes to terms and all, that's where you get a little tricky on. And how you want to have it. Do you want to let bloodlines be able to claim power at all? I mean, because there could be decent, bloodlines that have good morals and all that. And if you want to keep them in office and they have children, I mean, or you can actually have them. They still have to run, but I mean, if they're, you know, like their father, then they should have no problem winning. So I mean, maybe, I mean, it's not a problem if you're, but I don't think we're gonna have bloodlines be able to just automatically take their father's spot. I think they have to earn it. Um, but it'd be a great legacy to know that your great great grandfather, was, this, and then, you're gonna be the 10th or whatever to fall in line with being this holding this seat. It'd be a nice legacy. I mean, I have no problem enjoying your legacy of holding the seat. But you can be voted out, just like you can be voted in. I think the focal point with the one world government, it has to be the greater good, what's for all. Um, that's that. I think this whole space thing has got me tripping as well. But yeah, I gotta take a break.